In the state of Illinois, primarily all children and university students have opted to utilize online learning in order to decrease the amount of COVID-19 exposure and cases. The sacrifice to jeopardize face-to-face learning and all the benefits that come along with that was to simply save as many lives as possible. In the beginning, in the big picture, the move for students to learn from home outweighs everything else. However, it does not mean we can ignore the cons that have directly impacted our students, teachers, and parents. In 2020 fashion, everything is taken day by day, and we do what we can to make it work in the spirit of saving lives. To truly understand the student's perspective and not to use my own biases, I interviewed my sister Olivia. She graduated from Illinois State University in 2020 and is currently getting her master's in social work at the University of Illinois Chicago. I wanted to understand how remote learning has directly impacted her learning experiences and life. Briefly explain your experience at ISU before remote learning. Olivia, quote, I really enjoyed my learning experience at ISU. Senior year was a complete a student practicum placement, so like an internship. With that, we took a field discussion class that was extremely helpful to my internship process. We got to discuss issues, victories, and case projections at the start of class. This part of the course helped me understand my own learning experiences and see what my peers were learning at their internships. End quote. Great, now briefly explain your experience at ISU when you switched to remote learning. Olivia, quote, okay, so many remote experiences at ISU versus my current remote learning at UIC is completely different. Last March, my professors at ISU had to make a quick decision during a time of uncertainty and fear. My professors continue to provide work to complete, but definitely not the same as held previously. My favorite class, the field class mentioned previously, we never the same. We held Zoom classes for it, but everyone would not speak up and share. My learning experience then was just a disappointment to end the great 4 years at ISU. I understand your online experience at ISU differs from your experience at UIC. Explain to me how it directly impacts your life now. Olivia, quote, well, it's really tough to be honest. My mental health from March to now has plummeted. It is hard to stay motivated and excited about my education when I stay in one room doing all of my work. I have another internship that is an outpatient behavioral health clinic, so I'm giving telehealth therapy sessions from my room. I am totally missing out on the major learning experiences at my internship in my classes. I got in the work and I am to be with people and learn from their experiences to increase mine, that is completely gone with remote learning. It is clear Olivia's remote learning experience is impacting her life. She discusses feeling like she missed out and felt very disappointed. Her remote learning experience is very unique and we can all appreciate her willingness to adapt. Before COVID happened, teachers had a pretty routine schedule and knew what they needed to do. They would walk into school and begin teaching with face-to-face interaction. Things like Zoom and school board were not used in today's curriculum like they are now. US Today acknowledging New York kindergarten classroom that is really feeling the major challenges in traditional classrooms to remote learning. Melissa Carr, principal, speaks on the optimism to keep her staff motivated while teaching. I believe that my staff will do anything that is asked. She said, adding, our motto this year is just keep moving. Let's do better today because we don't know what tomorrow will bring. Melissa says the change in their lives was creating the crucial key in remote learning is the teacher-student connection, the ability for the teachers to go against everything they thought they knew in order to keep students engaged has been changing in their traditional approach. Parents are like the stage crew of the play, behind the scenes making the process as seamless as possible for young children, and parents are also the teachers. The teachers work hard to reach as students as much as possible, but parents inevitably end up working with their child on their work that needs to be completed. So many mothers, fathers, grandparents, and guardians are making huge sacrifices in order to be with their child and guide them in their remote learning process. The lives have changed in their job ability and new financial responsibilities, adapting to the children's lives from home. Living through the global pandemic is hard enough on everyone's life. The additional changes in education shifting from remote learning has impacted everyone's life. Learning being the new priority. The hard work to follow makes everything worth it. According to the United States Census Bureau, nearly 93% of households in America are remote learning. It is safe to say thousands of people will never forget the year 2020. In many years to come, it is important to remember the Brazilians shown in order to prioritize the education of all people.